Man, that was a tough video to make. I made this video to show what it feels like to be suicidal. Now, back when I was suicidal, I had a gun to my head multiple times, and this was years ago. This was, you know, 9 years ago, at least 7. But to have that feeling that you want to end it all, that you want to stop your life because it is so painful, that is a hard experience to go through. And now having a gun to the head, it does bring back memories. Now, I was never in any danger in this, but I was in danger in the past. And there are many people who can't deal with their emotions to the extent that they can survive in the common day world, that they can survive as a person within the environment that they have to. The reason that most of us can't survive, I worked out a way. I worked out a way that transcends society, transcends my physical body, and works towards a more immortal form of consciousness. But the reason why many people can't survive in society is because there are a whole bunch of value judgments that are projected onto a person, no matter who they are, from their friends, family, society at large. And a lot of people will make basic judgments about you, even if you just have blue hair, or even if you just have, tight jeans, I guess you could say, or even if you have loose jeans. If you go towards this degree or that degree, people will make judgments about you. And when we consider ourselves mainly a component of society, mainly a component of the group that everyone else seems to be a part of, then we have a hard time accepting that, okay, most people don't accept me within the society that I'm trying to be a part of. So how do I deal with this? And some people, it's very hard to. Some people, it causes very much pain to them. It causes very much emotional turmoil, mental turmoil, and really it affects them psychologically, ultimately. And in order to get past this, we have to brush aside the general societal labels that are pushed onto us, that are pushed onto the kind of person that we are, because it's not really pushed onto an individual. It's pushed onto everybody who, dresses the way that you do, or believes what you do, or has the basic kind of ideas that you do. But it's never just you individually. People try to plaster labels on you that have nothing to do with you as an individual in order to do with their assumptions about a group of people. What we also have to do is seek that part of ourselves that is beyond judgment in society. That part of ourselves which doesn't interact with society, that part of ourselves which is our ultimate personality, not the personality that is affected by different identity influences or how we respond to our peers or our family or our friends or the particular school that we go to. Beyond all of those, responses, there's an identity just below what we consider as who we are. There's an identity below all the surface generalizations that we actually take up over time. Even as far as personality goes, we take up certain personality traits that are influences from other people, other teachers, other parents, or older people who are our advisors, I guess you could say. We take up what their personality judgments are and their personality traits, and we accept them as our own, and we try to be that person without even realizing it. But we have to set aside all the things that we've taken up in regards to being a social human being, and we have to truly look at who we are past all of the immediate consciousness, and really look at the absolute consciousness. That consciousness, that spark that is just behind everything that is anywhere near to the society that we exist in. For instance, if we feel like we are always very discerning, we always try to disseminate the difference between right and wrong, or virtue and somebody else's idea of virtue. Follow that line of reasoning. Follow it to its source, and you will find a particular tinge, a particular color of being that is entirely individual to your soul. And that's just one example. But follow your line of reasoning, follow your line of acceptance of what reality is, all the way back to its source, and you will find that you actually have a state of being that is before all of these value judgments that are inflicted onto your very identity, that are inflicted upon your very perception. And you will get past that. You will be able to follow yourself back to yourself. Now, this has been a video about what it feels like to be suicidal, or being suicidal. And it was a hard video to make because I remember going back years. I remember holding a gun to my head before, and it felt very similar. You know, I had no intention of pulling the trigger, obviously, but it felt very similar. And bringing myself back to that point, it was kind of bringing me back to when I didn't know what I did, or what I didn't know that I am, rather. What I didn't know that I am somebody else rather than I was. I assumed that I was entirely related to society, that society was my guiding star, my North Star, that society was the only way that I could judge myself. But later on, and luckily I didn't pull the trigger, but later on I started to realize that there was something behind this identity that we associate with society, that there is something beyond this identity that we associate with all the influences in our lives, whether they be family, friends, acquaintances. All these people leave imprints onto us, and we accept certain imprints and then we discard others. But a lot of the time we're not aware of them. We're not accepting that most of who we are is just copying somebody else. But regardless, when I started to realize that there was something behind all of this, I accepted that there was a path to follow. And that path was back to myself, the source from which I had come, and the source from which I was deluded, I was corrupted from. And I'm still working back to that source that we all have to go back to. But regardless, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has been interesting. It certainly has been an experience making. But hey, if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section below. If you like this video at all, hit that thumbs up down there. It really helps out the channel. And hey, if you have been suicidal or you have questions about suicide, put it down in the comment section below. I can't guarantee that I'll get to all of them. There's been a lot of comments that I haven't been able to get to recently, but I will try. So hey, thank you very much for watching, sticking with me to the end, and y'all have a great day.